Alright, welcome back everybody. Anybody that's new here, thanks for joining me today. If you like this kind of stuff, consider subscribing. Hit that like button once in a while, really helps the channel out. If you want to help the channel out and you're not new here, everything's linked in the description. I'm sure you've heard it before, but it really helps the channel out. It needs to be said once in a while. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to start out this morning. I missed the sunrise, but hopefully I'm still out early enough. I'm going to go try and find some giant crappies real quick. I only have a little bit of time. They usually only bite really good for the first couple hours of light and they shut off. So we will see how it goes. Plus it's going to be stupid hot today, so I'm not going to be out here all day. Hey, I'm out here just cruising around this morning. I think I found a school of these giant bluegills. Every once in a while I get lucky and I find one. We will see if that's what these are. Got one. It's big, whatever it is. Yep, there's one of them. Man, these guys are huge. That is over a 10-inch fish. At least it's got to be right on that 10-inch mark. Put this one on the bump board. Just a 9.5. Still a giant female. Let's get some more of those. Just playing with my Apex Elite Ultralight with my 4-pound test setup. It's so much fun when you hook into these giants. These guys will chase anything down. A different animal on 4-pound test. Not what I was after, but as soon as I hooked it, I knew it wasn't a bluegill. Chunky little white bass. Like I said, it's a different animal when you hook it on 4-pound test. I mean, that'd be a fun challenge. Go out and try and fish 4-pound test for white bass. See how many you get in. Can I get another one? That feels like a bluegill. Feels like a really big bluegill if it is. Yep. Monster female. Probably another 9.5. Another nice fish. Going back. See how many more of those we can find. Well, of course I wasn't recording, but I just hooked a ginormous gill. When I say ginormous, I mean over a pound. Easy. Easy over a pound. Big bluegill. I mean, look at that fish. Just look how big that thing is. Oh, I'm gonna get a picture of this girl. Big old female. Big old monster. It's a big female. She's a little over 10 inches and definitely over a pound. I don't even need to weigh this one. I mean, you guys can see it. Look how big that thing is. Okay, let's get her back. Okay, I can do that for a little while here. It's already getting really stupid hot, but I'll put up with it for a little while as long as I keep catching freaks like that. That thing, I mean, that's a special fish. It's a very unique fish. Not many people get to even see those in their lifetime, and I'm lucky enough I understand where to find them and how to catch them. I wish I could tell you guys without knowing for a fact that people would just destroy the resource. It's a sad thing. For those of you guys that do not know, every time you take a giant bluegill out of a body of water, or like prime genetics, like that wasn't even that old of a female. I could just tell by the way all their scales and everything looks. I've gotten used to the aging thing. The problem is if you take the prime genetics out of a body of water, they keep getting smaller until you end up with stunted bluegills, and then everybody complains about, you know, how good something used to be, and that's basically what happens to any body of water. I've seen it firsthand a couple times. I've done it to a body of water myself that was small enough, you know, that you pick the beds clean, and you know, you destroy the fishery over time, and then you don't realize it in 5-6 years, and then suddenly you just stop seeing giant bluegills in that body of water and they never come back. So take care of your big bluegills. Those of you guys that have been around here, you know better, but those of you guys that are new, yeah, I will eat 9-inch bluegills all day long out of this body of water, because there's 11-inch bluegills like over a pound out here. So anything over 9.5 inches, I usually let go. But like that one, that was a 10.5-inch bluegill that goes over a pound. No reason to kill it. And I'm not actually looking for any bluegills to keep. I might change my mind at some point here if I start catching a bunch of like 8.5s, because the 8.5s out here are gigantic, and yeah, they taste just as good as all the other bluegills you guys have ever eaten. So if you guys ever get a chance to get out and chase some giants, do it. But just remember, I did a ton of research. I did years and years and years and years and years of research in order to do what I'm doing right now. All I can tell you is these bluegills don't do what normal bluegills do, and that's, I'm over deep water and they're just kind of suspended. I'll give you one little secret that you could use, and I'm sure some of you guys will experience this. If you're on a body of water that has giant bluegills, go drift. Find out what depth they're at, run a couple different rods at different depths, and when you're drifting, you will be surprised at what you catch. You don't have to be by any kind of structure or weeds or anything like that like you normally would be. Just go drift. There's your big tip for the day. Let's go catch some more bluegills. I think I landed on one. Man. That's a bluegill? That is. Shouldn't be swinging these guys. They're so big. I mean, that's smaller, technically. Like, technically, I think that would be an eater. Let's put it on the bump board. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Like, this thing is gigantic, but like, okay, like I was saying, see, that's a 9-incher. So you could technically eat that fish and not be worried about hurting the fishery at all, because that giant everywhere else, this body of water has a billion of those exact 9-inch cookie cutters, which is awesome. But anything over that starts getting real special. So anything over that, that's what I throw back. But if I get a bunch of those guys, I might keep 5-6 of them for lunch. That would be fun. I haven't had fresh bluegills in a while. I think I found a weed edge, actually. Might be loaded up. Yep, loaded up on the edge of this weed line. They're so strong. That looks like a pre-spawn fish still somehow. And it is way after spawning season. Well, of course, amateur hour. I just set the hook on something and it started screaming drag, so I don't think it's a bluegill. I don't know what it could be. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. That explains a lot. Big old drum. I'm running into you guys a lot this year. Not what I'm after. And I don't feel like cleaning fish today, so that thing's lucky. I don't really feel like cleaning anything. Fish. Good fish. I think that's a big bluegill. Oh, there's a male. Nice round male. Could be a female, but I'm pretty sure that's a male. I think I found a school of them again on the weed line. Ooh, that feels like a good one. I mean, they all feel like good ones. Well, except that looks like a bigger male, maybe. Definitely right shape. Yeah, it's getting hard to put my fingers around them. Fish on. Switched it up to the slip bobber here. Had to do some pinpoint shooting. Oh, go figure. Yeah, it's not a bluegill. But to hang out with the bluegill all summer long. Right in somebody's face? What are you? If this is a gill, it's big. Are you a big gill? Yep. Big male. That's just a cool looking fish right there. It's always fun when I get to the point where I can barely put my hands around them. Catch 100 more of those, I'll be fine. Another suspended monster. God, these guys pull so hard. Come here. Yep. That'd definitely be an eater. It's probably only 8.5 inches long. That's a small one. Okay, so I moved to a different part of the lake. Sometimes you gotta scoot around a little bit, get on top of these guys. You're not a big bluegill. Where were you all morning? Take a dozen of you guys, like 13 inches. Okay guys, I don't know what you guys are gonna see last. I don't know if I got a giant. So I had like a 13 and a half inch, maybe 14 inch crappie. I think that was the last big fish I got. I'm just kind of messing around until I gotta leave here. It's really hot out, but I just doing what I like to do, and I found a school of white bass. I'm chasing it right now, so keep your fingers crossed for me. I can talk myself off the water. These guys are just too much fun. But giant bluegills, giant crappie, two of my favorite things. I got into both of them. I wish I would have got into the crappie this morning, but they just weren't in the areas that they should have been. And then that one I just caught, if you guys did see that, that was in a shallow like weed line, and they shouldn't be there right now. It's too late in the summer, and yeah, they just shouldn't be there right now. The bluegills, the big suspended bluegills, those are always out there. It's one of those things, I just gotta go find them, and it's, you know, fishing the abyss. So like I said before, the best tip I can give you guys, if you're trying to do what I did and you don't have any electronics or anything to do it with, get a moderately windy day, so like a 5 to 8 mile an hour wind, and drift. And then if you're in Wisconsin, you can use 3 lines. So one of the things I always recommend people do is, if you're by yourself, you take 3 lines, you put one down, you know, like 10-15 feet, you put one down like 5 feet, you put one down 20 feet, and see which one gets hit more, and then move them all to that same depth, or like real close to the same depth. Trust me, you guys will catch more fish that way. But yeah, that's gonna be the easiest way you guys catch more fish. So give that a try. If any of you guys like drifting and do real well on it, comment below. I want anybody who sees this to understand that, like, you don't need electronics to go out and catch a bunch of fish. I have them and I spent the money on them, so if I did that, I'm going to use them. I go river fishing whenever I don't want to use electronics. Basically, it's like a break from electricity, and I just go walk a river. So I have a whole bunch of river videos if you guys want to see me fishing without electronics. I can do it on lakes too. It's more fun when you're catching tons of fish. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, all you guys that like the giant bluegills, there, I caught some giant bluegills. I'm sure I'll do it again before fall here. So stay tuned, and see you guys next time.